Hey everyone, welcome back. Once again, we are playing some games for cats. I need to fix our overlay so that we can see the rewards, the incentives you can do. Um, and while I do that, I'm going to hand this over to Rosie. Why don't you guys go ahead
Mhm.
and introduce yourselves? I'll let Rosie kind of go through, starting with herself.
Sure, sure.
And say who you are, and if you have anything you want to kind of shill, sell, just make people check out, have at it.
All right. Hello, hello. My name is Rosemary Banks. I will be your GM for our next game of Thirsty Sword Lesbians. I am a musician, creator, internet person, based somewhere in Ohio. You can find music I make at bandcamp.com/Rose Gold. I believe I finally changed it to ROXEGOLD. You can also find my YouTube channel. I don't remember how URLs work for that, but my channel is also Rose Gold, spelled that way, where you can find the 2 episodes of the podcast that me and my friend, who is also here, do, where we talk about Pokemon movies.
I think we lost the files of the third one.
We did not lose the file for the third one. It's just taking me a long time. Don't call me out. We're live.
Yeah, man. Sometimes it just takes a minute. God. And don't check out the ODD podcast until like Monday.
All right. That is it for me. If players want to go ahead and start introducing themselves.
I guess I'll go ahead and do it. My name is Joanna. My pronouns are they them. Basically, I'm a writer. I write primarily screenplays. But I like to dabble in other things, short stories, novels, things like that. And also, I'm also doing right now. I'm working on a tabletop game that I will be showcasing tomorrow at around noon Mountain Time. It's called Card Heroes. It's kind of attempts to take the worlds of like Yu-Gi-Oh and Bakugan and Beyblade and like card battlers and put that in and allow tabletop make a tabletop playing out of that. You can check out my stuff at Ryan with Joanna or Ryan with Joan, maybe. I can't remember how I've changed everything. But I'm on Blue Sky is where I'm mainly active. You can also check out my own personal website. You can see some of the screenplays I've written, some things some of the things I'm working on. But yeah, looking forward to looking forward to this game.
I guess I'll jump in. Hi, I'm Todd. My pronouns are he, they. I love collaborative storytelling and TTRPGs. I'm also a professional GM myself or game master. You can find me on dmtoddbloom.com as my website. A lot of my games are up on startplaying.games. And yeah, that's mostly me. I'm excited to play some Thirsty Sword Lesbians.
I'm Nisha Donaldson. I'm a vet tech for my career, but I have been a long-term TTRPG player, and if I ever get the chance again, I also do acting in local plays. So.
And I'm Winter. I use she, they, they, or it pronouns. I'm not particularly picky. I enjoy playing a lot of TTRPGs. I would, tends to be more in theory than in practice sometimes, but changing that. So yeah, excited to play.
Mm-hmm. All right. And I think that is everyone. I guess just to get a little preamble out of the way, the game that we're playing is Thirsty Sword Lesbians, which is a powered by the apocalypse flavored just kind of narrative storytelling game. But For those of you watching stream, you can see that we have 3 reward tiers. The first one for $1 is to grant advantage, which is very straightforward. You can allow people to re-roll and take the higher. At $5, you can grant 2 characters a string. Strings are a thing in Thirsty Sword Lesbians that help characters like influence and kind of entice each other and develop relationships around each other. And then at $10, you can grant someone a new power from their playbook. And I think that's just about everything out of the way if people are ready to begin.
Hell yeah.
Let's do it.
Okay. So, to set the scene a bit, each of you sorry, let me find myself. Each of you players is now a full-grown adult who 10 years ago was conscripted into the forces of the great magical girl troupe, the Magical Guardians. You met with a talking cat who told you about the war between this world and another one known as the Colorless Kingdom, a different dimension ruled of black and white beings. And each of you was granted a magical cat ear headband that would allow you to transform into a powerful warrior to fight the forces of the Kingdom of Monochromia. That, however, was 10 years ago. And 10 years ago, you defeated the leader of Monochromia, the Black Queen. You reinstilled the former Queen Alicia to create the Great Rainbow Kingdom, and you sealed the gate between this world and the other. And now, 10 years later, you're being called for your 10-year high school reunion to meet up. The reunion is being held at your old high school in the gymnasium/auditorium. And it's pretty light, kind of like semi-formal event. And if each of you wants to introduce yourselves and how you arrived, you may feel free to do so. Not everyone at once.
I think Zephyra, my character Zephyra, shows up to the reunion. And you said it's in a gymnasium, is that right?
Yes.
Okay. I think you guys probably see Zephyra is she's got like short cropped red hair down to about chin length, or black and red hair. She's wearing a leather jacket with a red shirt with like a Black Panther on it. The jacket has like metal spikes, and she has like a choker leather collar with spikes on it. She's got like torn jeans, and she enters into the gymnasium. Just there's this measure of like almost exasperation coming from her, where she almost seems like she doesn't want to be here, but she's also looking around as if looking for some specific people. And she kind of goes in, not really giving anybody else the time of day, but I think if she spots any of the 3 of you, that's who she would be looking for specifically.
Okay.
Well, spotting August Summers will be pretty easy. As he makes his entrance, you hear the roars of a motorcycle engine that August rides in, like into pulling into the into kind of the parking lot. He is, and he puts down the kickstand, takes out the keys, takes off his helmet, fully showing off. He is wearing looks bit wearing very similar to what I'm wearing, but also maybe looks a bit different. He's got like almost nearly bald head. Got his sunglasses. He got some sunglasses on. He steps off. He's wearing just some sports shorts and some and some kind of combat boots. He's just got no shirt on, but he's got like a leather jacket that's rolled up to the sleeves. His biceps are really making it puff out, and he has and he also has some sports tapes wrapped around his stomach. Notably, there are also some around his chest. There are usually where one would expect breasts to be. There are some scars, though they have been tattooed over with stripes that you might see like on a Bengal tiger.
Amazing.
And he just is kind of just gets off and walks up towards the walks up towards the entrance, waiting on everyone else.
August, did you arrive to this event shirtless?
Yes.
Cool.
All right. I think it's a bit later than most arrive, fashionably late, if you will. Viv will arrive in a nice little car, a little more like definitely like freshly cleaned, kind of sparkly. She gets out and she is in this very formal little kind of tight-fitting dress with the slit around the chest, short with the slit and fishnets, the stiletto high heels with the straps, everything. The second she walks out, people are already saying hi to her, and she's glancing and she's saying hi, and she's walking and she's pretending to be very polite and generous, even though she is also looking for all of you. She will probably immediately clock Zephra and pretend that she didn't see her.
Excellent.
And my character, Estelle, probably came in around the middle of the pack, not any particular time, with a very kind of subdued dark gray hoodie, with like a bright orange lining that you can see peeking out of the past the zipper and along in the hood. Just fairly standard jeans, nothing out there. Upon walking in the room, just kind of trying to take account of everything that's going on, very much like clearly not knowing quite what to expect.
Okay.
I'll say that August does take note of when she arrives, but he kind of doesn't really want to be the one to approach, so he kind of takes a step back.
Okay. So what I'm hearing from everyone is when you all arrive, the first thing you are looking to do is meet with each other.
That's the plan.
Okay.
Viv would
All right.
seek out Estelle probably first.
Yeah, I'd be looking for August.
Okay, I like that. I like those pairs specifically meeting up. So, I will say, as the ones who arrived first, August and Zephra are, especially since the two of you are kind of very noticeable in the crowd, shall we say? Are very easily able to notice each other across the room and are able to move towards each other.
I think Zephyr would approach August.
Mhm.
I would imagine, even though Zephyr and August have kept in touch, that Zephyr probably hasn't seen August in person in a while. So Zephyr's just, wow, you weren't kidding. You look great.
He just looks that. Thanks, you too.
Thanks. And you can see Zephyr, as you get like a closer look, she's got like dark circles under her eyes, and she looks a little bit like unkempt. Her clothes are kind of like disheveled.
He's just like, so you made it.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I don't know what the point of these stupid things is, but I mean, I guess at least I get to see you and
Yeah. See the others. I hope I'll be able to. He looks and says, I haven't seen Estelle since our last battle. You know, I've been afraid to face I've been afraid to face it ever since. Still quite nervous right now, to be honest. Isn't that funny? I'm an MMA fighter. You know, they always got word. You know, they always said that, like, oh, if the trans enter the sports leagues, they'll take over. And I guess I'm not helping that concern. I've just knocked out every cis man that's ever come across me. But for some reason, this fight, this challenge feels scarier than any scruffy beard beefcake, some roided up beefcake that can whatever that they can throw at me. At least that time I always know, just dodge.
We just got a $25 donation from B-Baller in the Big Leagues. They didn't have
Oh.
any reward, so I'm just going to let Rosie decide if she wants to do anything with that. And
Interesting.
Thank you for the donation.
Thank you for the donation. For 25, it is a lot right up front, but I will say I will allow the two people in scene currently, August and Zephra, to go ahead and take another move from your playbooks.
Oh, okay. I'll get that figured out here.
You know what? While I have, that'll be good.
I think as August, as you say all of this to Zephra kind of puts a hand on your shoulder, August, and says, I'm sure she doesn't blame any of us for what happened to her. I mean,
that's easy for you to say. You weren't the one she sacrificed so much for. If I had been stronger back then. That's part of the reason why I've been training so hard. Why I've sought out challenge after challenge and fight after fight, so I could be strong enough if something like that ever happened again, and I won't need to be saved.
well, it's been a bit of a shit show. We haven't had a reason to use, and Zephyr inside of her coat, she's got the cat ear headband, and she just kind of like pulls it out.
He just looks, says, "Yeah, mine's he kind of just like looks down and says, I still carry mine around, though it looks a bit different now."
I don't know. I felt a bit lost without, you know, turning into one of the guardians.
It was fun, you know. Back then, all our problems seemed so obvious in front of us, and you know, seemed we could take care of them in a matter of a half hour.
It always was a lot easier. Speaking of tense situations, you haven't seen Viv around, have you?
Like, she sent me. He's just like, she sent me a text saying expect me to be last.
Fashionably late. It sounds like her.
Yep. Like, boy. I haven't told her anything about what's happened.
Oh, well, that'll be a surprise.
Yeah.
Well, let's I mean, I guess
So,
let's see if we can find maybe Estelle's already here. I mean, I
yeah.
feel a little bit nervous about talking to Estelle too, but we got to face it eventually.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, well, let's at least go inside, get some food.
Yeah, let's go.
All right. As you two join the indoors, I believe Estelle said that it will be arriving next.
Yep. And
I guess the question I have for you is, do you immediately approach the others, or are you more like staying back?
I don't know if Estelle hasn't noticed them or is possibly in denial about noticing them. I mean, hell, one of you looks drastically different. But either way, it's definitely just kind of hovering a little bit, not really sure what to do or where to go. Presumably until Viv does show up.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Does Estelle hear the other two talking about it?
I don't think so.
Okay. Then I suppose last of the hour to arrive, Viv.
Yes. As I said, Viv is going to be making her polite hellos to all of these people as she walks in. Immediately clocking Zephyra, looking around, probably doesn't even notice August, because again, very different. Notices Estelle kind of hovering and immediately just like struts up, takes you by the arm, Estelle, it's been so long. Oh, it's so good to see you. You look amazing. How have you been?
Oh, it's it's nothing. And she's like clearly a little bit, I guess, flustered by the sudden, like, spotlight, I guess. Also, again, seeing someone that she has not seen in a very, very long time. Um, well, I've been hanging in there, I suppose. I don't know if there's much even to say of interest, just a lot of, recovery. It's a long process. How have you been?
An adult? I don't like it. But again, I don't know if really anyone does. It's weird to be back here, isn't it? It's just... Well, I hope we leave different this time, you know?
Yeah, me too.
Speaking of which, sorry, do you think Zephyr's noticed me?
Hey, Zephyr. I think that's Viv over there.
Yeah, I'm gonna just immediately, just
He
see
adjusts.
periphery pointing over her. Just
He adjusts.
I have a
making sure
feeling.
his sunglasses are on tight. We may be inside, but boy, is this. Boy, is that shining bright.
Don't point. Don't be so obvious about it.
What? I mean, we are looking for them.
Yeah, I think I'd say you have been noticed.
Well, should we go together, or do you want a couple more seconds to breathe?
Let's bite the bullet. Let's go say
Okay.
hi.
Okay. And so the Guardians have reassembled.
I think Zephyr would probably kind of walk up, approaching Estelle first, somewhat deliberately. Just kind of like trying to act casual, probably failing, like looking around like, oh, hey, glad to see you guys. How's everything been going?
Oh, just I don't know. It's a lot of stuff can happen in 10 years,
Tell me about it.
It's certainly been time that has passed.
August?
Oh wow, you know my new name. I was half expecting you. Nah.
Well, it showed up on my phone randomly, and I was like, "Am I texting the right person?"
Yeah. No. Yeah. That is. I'm on it, but yes, he just looks to he looks to Estelle and says, just in case you haven't heard, you knew me as April back in high school. The tough tomboy. Well, now I'm just a boy.
Neat. Yeah. Looking good. Damn.
He's like, yeah, thanks. You don't look too bad yourself. How are you? How are you doing? How are you holding up?
I don't know. That's a complicated question to answer.
Well, if there's anything I can do to make it up to you, like you need me to like get you a drink, or is there someone you need me to beat up, or?
No. It's okay. I appreciate the effort though.
All right.
Just it's a little new seeing everyone all together again. So
Yeah.
different. I mean, all of us, some in more obvious ways than others, but
Zephyra kind of like, you can see probably to you guys a familiar nervous tick from Zephyra of like fiddling with a guitar pick between her fingers, and looks over to you, Viv. Hey Viv, it's been a while. How's everything been with you?
It's been good. I'm just trying to maintain life. I decided to become a makeup artist.
Oh.
And I can see that you've been doing decently well for yourself, Zephyra.
Yeah, I mean, decided to pursue the musician route. Yeah, playing on stage and stuff. It's fun. I'm guessing you guys haven't had any reason to, kind of puts like two fingers up to her head like cat ears.
No, as I said to you, my fights nowadays are MMA in the ring, and we're not allowed to use enhancements like that.
Always has suited you.
Yeah.
Mhm.
No.
While all of you are having a nice time catching up and conversing, Estelle, as the one who perhaps is being the most quiet in conversation, and also the one who is most used to tactically analyzing your surroundings, you notice there's something off about the collection of people, the other students and teachers at this reunion. About half of them seem as they normally would be. Old students are about how you remember them, but older teachers are acting how you'd predict them to. But a certain number of people in the crowd are acting different, more formal, more uptight even. And you can also notice that each one of these people is dressed in a very particular way.
would one say that they're acting artificial?
Yes,
Or-
I think so. And you notice that each of them is dressed in only black and white.
I think upon realizing this and taking a bit of a double glance, like strafing around or scanning the room, really making sure that I'm certain that something's actually off, um, Estelle will immediately, like, I guess, well, look panicked, frankly. Panicked, guarded, like, before trying to, well,
Does August notice this?
not. I think you reasonably could.
He will immediately just become like, everything. Hey, is everything all right?
I think something's wrong here with the people. Just and then try to kind of point it out, I hoped I was just making it up, but this doesn't seem. The ones in the black and white only. Do you know any of their names? Do you remember any of them? I don't recognize them.
I can't say I do. They look like they're all here for a funeral instead of a high school reunion.
I think. I want to say we need to leave, but
He's like, you can hang back. I'll take care of it.
this is directly involving the whole group, I believe, this conversation.
Sure.
Yeah. You
Just
guys
saying.
feel free to interject.
Mm-hmm. August, you say you're going to take care of it? What do you mean by that?
He kind of is just like, well, whatever the problem is, I can handle it myself.
I don't.
Especially Estelle, and to his intention is Estelle, whatever danger there could be, she shouldn't put herself in the presence of it. So August is basically just trying to both of like, I'll take care of this. You just get going. If you want to leave, get going. I'll handle it.
I can still handle myself, August, in spite of what happened.
I mean, are you thinking it has something to do with our past? Like, because we defeated the queen, our portrait's still here, right? Or she'll immediately kind of look around for the portrait.
The mural, right?
The mural.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
At the moment, the auditorium section of the room, the curtains of the stage are still fully closed, and so you cannot see the back wall where that mural had been painted. If you would like,
August will immediately, like, without hesitating, will just kind of strut up, hop, not even like to use the stairs, just straight up like, grasping the ledge and hopping up and then approaching the curtains and pulling it back.
You can see at the back of the room, the mural is there as it always has been. The wonderful, brilliant streaks of color and the playful cats and school's mascot is there exactly as you remember it. Except there's supposed to be something in the center. There's supposed to be something in the center. A heart-shaped crystal with 2 striking cat ears. And that is gone.
Okay.
Now, August ran backstage alone, correct?
Unless someone quickly followed from behind.
I think
August didn't wait to see if anyone did.
I think Viv would have just been like, okay, we're doing this, and would have followed August, probably pulling Estelle with her.
Zephyr certainly wouldn't be left behind.
All right, you have all clambered into the back of the auditorium and have noticed it missing.
Yeah. This is bad. He just looks and says, like, Viv, get Estelle out of here. I'm gonna find out what's going on.
Reiterating, I can handle myself.
I know, but We don't. It's like what if the queen is back?
Then we'll handle it.
I can't
Then we
let.
won't make the same mistake twice.
Look says, "Oh, I won't. I won't make that same mistake."
What would even cause this? I mean, do you think, Estelle, do you think that those people out there are connected to the crystal missing from the mural?
I think so. Both of those things are wrong. They have to be connected in some way. I can't put it to words, but it has to be.
You hear a cough behind you interrupt your discussion. While all of you have been conversing, when you turn around, there are a pair of alumni standing at the other side of the stage by the curtain. A decent-looking man and woman couple. The man is wearing a very straight and square black suit, while the woman is wearing a simple, very undecorated white dress with her hair tied up rather conservatively. And the man approaches all of you first. Is there something the matter, all of you? I don't think you're going to find many people to reconnect with here behind the curtain. Why not go out and join the others?
We were just admiring our old mural. Is that so
Yeah.
wrong?
Was it changed over the years? It looks a bit different.
The woman speaks up. Changed? How would one change a mural?
I don't know.
Did you paint over
any
it?
any sort of changes, removals, additions, anything that change is a pretty simple concept. Has it been changed?
The man coughs again and steps forward. Listen, there's going to be a presentation at this stage soon, and this area for the moment should be restricted. You need to leave and join the others.
I'm sorry, I don't think that we don't recognize you. Are you with the school?
You don't recognize me? Zephyra. I'm hurt.
Oh.
Yeah, question. Do any of us recognize either of these two?
No.
To the point where we would know that we should recognize them?
Maybe. It's hard to really recognize them at all. You maybe get the sense that you've seen their faces, something similar to them somewhere, but you're certainly not able to place a name, and you're definitely not able to think of if they resemble any students that you went to school with. They just sort of seem generic.
So, by student, you mean they look like they'd be our age?
Yes, they do.
Okay, so looks and says, August says, remind me again, who are you?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I know almost everyone from our class, and I don't remember you.
The woman clutches at a pearl necklace around her neck. Who are we? My. Viv, we are the remnants. And as she says remnants, she looks up and you can see that her eyes have gone completely white with a single black beeline pupil in the center.
I think Zephyra is kind of like reaching into her jacket, grabbing onto something, says, "Is this going to be a problem?"
August ain't dropping out. He is entering fight stance.
Zephyra asks if this is going to be a problem. The man steps forward and leans down. You can see his eyes have changed similarly. Are you going to make it a problem?
What
If
is it?
Do you really think that you can stop us, Guardians?
I think at the mention of that name, like whatever amount of restraint, might not quite the right word, but whatever hesitance there may have been in gone. Like, this is full. Oh, okay, we're actually doing this now. Mode.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I would have. I don't know if she would have access to any sort of weapon, considering the circumstances.
That is a good question for you, Estelle. Zephyra and Viv have held on to their headbands. August has his, though retooled. Do you still have yours?
Yes.
You do. Good. As these kind of two figures, this man and woman, continue approaching, you can see their figures kind of starting to change and shape. Their eyes grow larger. You can see the teeth in the corner of their smiles starting to shift into fangs. And you're not quite sure if you're imagining it, but you could swear a pair of two lumps starting to grow on either of their heads.
It's like, looks like we are gonna have to make it a problem.
I've been waiting for this
I
for a
think we're
long
long.
time.
I've been waiting for this.
All right.
I hoped we wouldn't have to do this.
Time to feel young again.
August does at that statement again. It is supposed to. August will say, but we'll look to Estelle and say, "You don't have to do this. I can take care of. I can take care of these two."
I appreciate the thought, but don't infantilize me.
All right. I'll promise at the very least, I won't let you get hurt again.
We'll talk about this later. Bigger
Zephyr's
problems right now.
Right.
Zephyr's pulling out the cat headband, placing it on her head, saying, "If you're here to hurt anybody, including this group, including all the people out there, we're going to make it our priority to put a stop to you." And kind of like places the cat ears on.
All right.
Transformation sequence?
Zephyra, yes, Zephyra, the first to place her headband on. If you would like, you have free reign to describe your transformation sequence.
Okay. Then with that, Zephyra places the cat ears atop her head, and you guys see the ears turn into this kind of like gold glitter expands out from the ears and turns into like headphones that cover her
Mhm.
ears with the cat ears on top. This kind of like gold glittering magic shoots down her leather jacket and turns it into this sort of like black, almost like gothic looking magical girl dress with like red ribbons on it, with metal chains and spikes that hang off like the waist and the arms, and this choker kind of like or the choker appears with this red gem of a panther's head hanging down from it, um, and you see a guitar just kind of like magically appear in her hands with through flames that shoot out from her hands as she spreads them across, and as she strums a note onto the guitar, the body of it turns into a blade that extends out from the neck of the guitar, and she strikes a pose with the sword in raised up overhead, almost He-Man style, and just flames flickering in her now like black gloved hand. You can also see her hair is like has shot up, almost like these flames sticking up from the back of her head.
Badass.
So cool. All right. Well, if you're transforming August, I wanted to make sure that someone else could set a precedent for a magical girl transformation sequence for how mine's going to be a bit different. As I take out my cat ear headband, looks more like something like almost like a belt buckle in a way, and with like as I grasp it and I grasp it, kind of do a few like kung fu poses and then hold it out, and it like has this like. It has like in the image of a of like a like a roaring tiger on it. It says it's go time, and suddenly, like within a black background, you see like his arms kind of he kind of stands there fully kind of spread out as his a morph suit rather forms around August's body. It's kind of like these like yellow boots, this yellow torso, probably also like pretty much like yellow away from like also like yellow pants and like a black belt around it, and then like kind of around his arms there's like it's also yellow, but like it's got like the stripes of a tiger, and like on his chest there is this big kind of there's like these big like fang decals, like from like top fangs are up on the chest, lower fangs are down by the stomach. He kind of just looks and he says, this camera zooms in on his face. He goes, "Storm Tiger," and there is the rumbling of thunder behind him, and kind of like the sound of a tiger going as a yellow helmet pops up over top of him. A black visor goes over the eyes with like some kind of like tiger teeth around the outer rims of the visor. As he then like a strike of lightning comes down and it forms into a short sword, and he just kind of spins it around, turns around, and just like finally just goes off into a just like full on like more of like a kind of kung fu pose, like a kung fu pose. And to top it off, there's also a shot from below that will show August doing a backflip.
Oh my gosh. I love that. Before Viv puts on her headphone or her headband, she'll lean over to Estelle and be like, "That suits him so much better than the guardian dresses everywhere."
Oh, exactly.
Amazing.
And her headphones or her headband for her sake are like little sunglasses. They have the like clippies, and then she puts them on. It's so she can tuck it, and like use it. Like, yeah. So very casual. So she plays it and she puts it on, and her hair kind of like rolls out of the like pretty bun that was in very flowy, liquidy form. And her dress kind of changes from this black to this shimmery blue, and it grows just like an inch or two in length, and it becomes more flowy than it is tight fitting, though it still shows off plenty of her figure. And then of course, in classic Sailor Moon style, the like waves will like go over her, and the shoes will change, and she'll pull out a very thin, like almost like ice pick like sword that has the baton at the end of it. And then her ears and tail are hairless, and she'll just pose there as her little Sphinx self. Guardian Sphinx.
Oh, I love it.
And then I suppose Estelle will look upon all of this, and from her hoodie pocket will grab a small little a small bracelet with a cat ear motif on it. A small silver bracelet with little orange accents. And place it upon its wrist. At which point the inner lining of the hood, as well as the kind of shadow below the hood cast on the legs, begins to kind of glow a deep orange, but the otherwise like grays and blacks remain the same. She'll begin to like zip up the hoodie. You see the seam like a little like along the zipper as it's being zipped up, kind of what looks like a small little kind of candle flame trailing up that zipper and kind of sealing the hoodie into the new outfit. And when it reaches her chest, it expands outward into a kind of web like shattered glass with like a single noticeable like point in the center that it's all emerging from. Meanwhile, kind of in the background, the magical aura is, well, it's gray. It's like smoke, effectively. From her side, she will draw a mundane steel rapier that was somehow being hidden in there. We're gonna anime logic that one a little bit.
Sure.
And in her left hand, grab a, again, mundane steel parrying dagger.
All right.
Both of those primarily gray, but glowing very slightly in orange, like heated, like the metal has been heated.
Cool.
All right. As soon as you all finish and reassemble in your guardian pose after 10 years of being apart, you hear the man just sort of lightly clapping. Well done, well done. It has been so long, hasn't it? Oh. You know, I remember hearing stories about the great warriors. Guardian Panther and Sphinx and... Forgive me, you're new. Who are you? He looks at August.
He looks and says, "Oh, it's like, oh, don't worry." He says, I've been here for a while. Let's just say testosterone did something to my did something to my transformation. Yes, it's like he just looks and says, "Just call me Storm Tiger."
Storm Tiger. He gives a very tight, forced smile. Of course.
He's like, "Don't worry. It's a name you won't forget once I kick your butt."
Oh, don't worry. However, he gives a brief glance to Gardnian's snow leopard. You we have heard much about. In fact, allow me to personally thank you.
Estelle's like glancing around in
He will upon just seeing that, Storm Tiger will immediately just kind of like step in front of Snow Leopard and just be just full. "Hey, you want to get to her? You're gonna have to go through me."
I pinch August by the ear and pull him away.
"Hey, get through my mask."
Estelle will.
Very good. Very good.
I glance over appreciatively, just a little like a knowing glance, and turn back. What are you talking about?
Oh, well, you see, you were our blueprint. The man takes a step back, and he and the woman take each other's hands and begin a very balletic dance back and forth. And you can see a dark black and white power begin to glow from underneath them as lights shine and ribbons blow past, and the man reaches into his suit to pull out from beneath his lapel a ornate and well-polished saber, while the woman from behind her dress will pull out two will brandish a pair of long and very sharp knives that she has pointed at you. And once their dance is complete, you notice that they too have grown small, triangular, pointed ears atop their head and have long tails drifting behind them. Forgive me for such a delayed introduction. You may refer to me as Vilnian Tuxedo. And the woman gives a similar bow. And I, Vilnian Harlequin. And we shall be your end.
Not with lame names like that, you won't.
Yeah.
And with that, they are upon you.
All right. So
I would like to try to go first.
Okay.
And I want to basically try to slide and try to cut one off balance and point my sword at them in a dramatic entrance kind of way.
All right. I like that. That I believe, unless you have a particular move from your playbook, I believe it's just going to count as a fight action.
I am trying to roll for the main attraction, which is a
Gotcha.
yes. So let's see. It'll be a grace roll.
All right.
That's a 9.
A 9. So a 9 is a mixed beat.
Yeah.
Want to remind you guys that you do have 5 rerolls.
We do. We do have 5 rerolls stacked up.
Cool.
Perfect. I think I'm going to keep that one for now. I don't think it's too bad.
Okay.
And I am going to choose to hold. I guess I'll go towards Harlequin. I'm going to hold her attention. Or no, I'm going to have all attention be on me for right now.
Okay. So you immediately dash out into the fight and have decided to like overwhelm Harlequin so that she can only focus her attention on you. Is there any other effect of that move on a mixed beat?
Nope. That is
Okay.
all I can choose.
All right.
I'll
I
show
think
you that it's not very easy to take us in a fight.
Oh no, hardly. I wouldn't want it to be easy. I want to see if you can live up to everything I've heard.
Going next, August will kind of drawing us heading towards was it Villanyan Tuxedo?
Yes.
He'll look to the others and say, "Listen, I've got an ace up my sleeve, but unfortunately, I don't want to summon it in. Like I don't want to bring it out indoors. It could bring the whole building down. So if we can find a way to get this fight outside, well, let's just say I'll have a pretty easy way to victory." And before, after he says that, he will just kind of rush forward and he will jump forward, do a somersault, roll forward up to Tuxedo and start trying to we'll start off trying to hit him with a roundhouse kick.
Okay. Is that a move from your book, or are you just going for fight?
I'm just going for fight.
You're just going for fight. All right. You can, I believe, with that kind of blunt of approach, roll daring.
All right. I got. And with Power by the Apocalypse, it still is like 7 to 9 is partial success, 10 plus is full success.
Yep.
Oh, that one rolled down there. Again. When we use those rerolls, can we reroll like 1 dice or 2 dice?
I'm going to have to insist the reroll is both dice.
Very, very well. Because that was a 1 and a 2, so I'm going to use up one of those rerolls.
Go for it.
Oop. There we go. Much better. That is that's 2 5s plus a 1 to my daring, so that's an 11.
An 11.
Nice.
All right.
Yeah.
So since you have successfully gotten a 10, you can describe the effect that you have on Villanyan Tuxedo, as well as choose 3 from the list of effects that your fight move can do.
All right. Tell me, where does it say on the character sheet of what the effects are?
It will not be on character sheet. It will just be under like basic moves. For fight, since you rolled 10 plus, you get to choose 3 from the list of flirt with or provoke your opponent and gain a string on them through violence or cutting words, inflict a condition, create an opportunity for an ally through prowess or distraction, or take an object from your opponent or seize a superior position.
Okay, and I can pick how many of those?
3.
Okay. Oh boy. Okay, this is the world is my oyster now. let's see. So I think the first one is like the first easy one is let me just make sure I have basic moves. Okay. Okay. So we'll go ahead and the book says I have the book right here. It's on my other monitor. It says choose two and your opponent chooses one. Oh wait, no, that's 10.
That's on 7-9. On 10 plus, you choose 3.
Yeah. Okay. So your opponent chooses 1 to apply to you. All right. You know what? So through violence, as the kick connects fully, hitting Villain Nyan Tuxedo right in the cheek, as like he kind of has a and he goes down, going from tasting my toes to tasting the ground, and falls down. So like a full on like a very direct hit. I will call that. I'm definitely going to use the inflict a condition.
Okay.
I believe GM gets when I ran masks. It was
Yep. So I will figure out that condition. I feel like that particular attack on him has like left him very surprised, and especially coming from forgive me, Storm Tiger.
Yeah.
As sort of like a new unknown element to battle. I'm going to say that Tuxedo will take the frightened condition.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah. With that, I'm also going to create an opportunity for an ally. So create opportunity for through prowess or distraction. So I assume if Panther or Snow Leopard wants to use this opportunity, use opportunity. That work well as also. And if I can take an object, what was the sword he has?
He has a very ornate saber.
Yeah, he will take he'll take his short sword like while he's down, just take his short sword and just kind of back the saber to the side, like almost off the stage.
Yeah, okay. That I think is enough for me to suitably say that Vilnian Tuxedo is kind of shaken and frightened. However, since you have rolled to fight, he gets to pick one effect on you.
All right.
And I think that as much as his eyes have like gone wide and he's kind of panicking without his weapon in hand, he is going to give you kind of a look and say, now, aren't you being a little reckless? You should listen to your friends. I thought Estelle asked you not to infantilize it. And at those cutting words, Storm Tiger is inflicted with guilty.
Okay.
Awesome.
Anyways, he will just kind of, he's like, he'll just be careful. I'm doing what I think is right. And yeah, anyone else? As I said before, I've created an opportunity. I've been creating opportunities. So if Leopard and if Leopard and was the Leopard and Panther want to use this opportunity, use my use my my action as an opportunity to help them with something, feel free.
You got something, Leopard?
I do have something. I'm not 100%. Well, no, I think I can go with it. Is this an opportunity for me to take an action or
Sure.
just say, okay?
Hmm.
Because I think I think I'm also going to take a fairly aggressive approach. Asking, or I guess, what do you mean I'm the blueprint? What are you? And very much try to, like, I guess, actually, is that figure?
That, I believe, would count as figure out a person.
Then that is what I will do.
Okay. And you can roll plus wit.
All right. Let's see. That's 7 plus 1, so that's an 8. I also have a, I guess, perk. Whenever I figure out a person during a physical conflict, I may ask an additional question from the list on my playbook.
This is absolutely a physical conflict. By all means, ask away.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's a 7 to 9. So that's like, what do you hope to get from encountering us here? And or do I give all the ones I'm asking first, or do I?
I think we can do them in whatever order feels right for conversation. So just at first, you're asking what you hope to get from encountering us.
Yep.
You're asking tuxedo?
No one in particular. We could say it's
Okay.
tuxedo because the vulnerable position.
Yes, sure. And Viv currently has Harlequin occupied.
Yep.
What we are hoping to do is what Monochromia has always hoped to do, to spread equality throughout all worlds. If you're attacking you specifically, we simply mean to get rid of the one thing that stands between us and that goal.
Okay. Then I guess this is probably closer to what are your feelings towards us, just in terms of which question, but framed more in.
If you want to ask a question that is not just listed on the list given in book, if you just want to point blank ask, what did you mean when you said I was the blueprint?
Yes, that's exactly, yeah.
By all means, I can answer that one.
Yeah.
Oh, don't you see? The Black Queen's attack on you created a certain effect. One that everyone was privy to and everyone remembers. Those left in the remnants saw potential in that form. In you, Snow Leopard. What do you think? He gestures down at his appearance. A fully black and white, colorless caricature of a Gardnian. Don't you think I look the part?
I think that if you are even whether.
And I will count that as my questions of what are your feelings towards the Villians kind of being almost replicas of snow leopard or even cheetah at its lowest moment.
Then I think they're fools. Mockeries of something not even worth copying. If you're trying to become a perfect version of me, you're still not even half of a Gardnian. You have no possible chance. I don't know what you think you're trying to do here, but it's not going to work.
Interesting. You know, it's not stated as a direct result of that move, but I will say that cuts to him fairly deep. Vilnian Tuxedo is insecure.
Yeah, me too, buddy.
Awesome.
Then can I round this off with one of my own? Or wait, no, it was the additional question I got from my own playbook. Or was that additional as in I can choose from the book?
You can ask another question.
In a world lifeless and devoid of whatever it is, such that you keep on finding a reason to come back and keep failing over and over to what? Turn this place worse? You know, who will mourn you when you're gone? Who do you have that gives you a reason to fight, or are you just hollow like I think you are?
Ooh.
That is specifically who will mourn you from my playbook.
Yes, yes. Who will? Surely my partner? He glances over at Harlequin, continuing to duel with Viv, who is not even paying him mind. I'm uncertain. Enough! You're distracting me! And he will lash back out at all of you and return to the fight with his claws.
All right.
I believe the only one who has yet to act is Panther.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will. I think I'm going to leap at Tuxedo and say, I've been waiting for this opportunity just to put the ears back on again. And seeing you as a mockery or a copycat, let's see if we can get rid of yours. And like leap at him. Just the sword disappears in a puff of flame. The cat's claws come out of Zephyr's hands, and she's going to like leap towards his back and his head and literally try to like claw in and rip the ears off of his head.
Okay.
Wow. Dang.
Yet again,
I was
I'll
the
ask if
one.
you were going
Gruesome.
for fight or a particular move.
Definitely fight.
All right, I agree with that. That absolutely sounds like daring. So go ahead and roll.
Let's see, 2d6. Oh, I now rolled a 2 and a 1, so I'm going to use a re-roll if possible.
Absolutely, absolutely. That brings us down to 3.
Okay. So much better. Let's see. My daring is +0, but that's a 10 total.
A 10 total. All right. On a 10, you're able to choose 3 of the listed effects below fight.
I think definitely through violence, inflicting a condition.
Through violence, you have absolutely inflicted something.
Oh.
Feels appropriate. Let's see.
I think immediate condition is that this kind of amidst his guilt, his fear and insecurity, and now being overwhelmed in like a 3-on-1 fight, Tuxedo is beginning to feel hopeless.
Love it. Let's say another of the three will be just sees a superior position, perhaps, holding
Sure.
on to him. And then the last one, create an opportunity for an ally. Just kind of, I guess, calling out like, um, Storm Tiger, get him! Just like riding him.
Okay.
Unless you got something else, I'll take that.
You absolutely can. However, Tuxedo does get one reaction in response to fight.
Right.
And I think in the midst of that fight, while everyone is focused on him and giving everything to fighting Tuxedo, he will glance over at Harlequin and just yell, "Quinn, the curtain!" As a way of creating opportunity for his ally through the distraction of having everyone fight him.
Okay.
Not quite.
Yeah.
So I will say, because he is kind of using himself as distraction via human punching bag. Storm Tiger.
Yes.
If you want to take the opportunity presented to you by Panther and continue fighting him, you can by all means continue to do so. However, if you want to act instead on the words he just said and leave that fight, that is,
I think because I have something in my, like I have something in my, I'm kind of gonna go with a bit of the sort of I am going to be kind of kind of shifting my focus over towards the towards what's the
Harlequin?
Harlequin, yeah, and sort of just like kind of see yeah. You know what? Actually, no. You know what? Full on, like he'll just be, oh, you want some too, and he'll flip his way over and then just kind of go with that, just a straight good old number 2 to the face.
To who?
To Harlequin.
To Harlequin. Okay, this is what I was going to finish saying. Because all of you are currently invested in fighting Tuxedo, and because he is doing his best to distract you, you can change to instead join Viv fighting Harlequin. However, to do so, you're going to have to defy disaster.
Hold on. I think because I actually have a move that I think okay. So here's what I will do. I'll roll. I'll go ahead and I'll roll to divide. I'll roll to defy disaster.
All right.
So, And I get to pick what I roll this with, if I'm reading this right.
You can, yes. I will say that what you are sacrificing is sort of just your involvement in the fight against Tuxedo.
Okay. So I will go ahead and I'll go use the swiftness and elegance, trying to go here, quickly, fast, and just kind of hop in my way over. So I'll be rolling with grace.
Okay.
There you go. That's not bad, because a 5 and a 4 plus my 2 grace, that's another 11.
All right. You are able to do it with style.
Yep. And thanks to my ability, Gallant Rescue, when I defy disaster that's about to befall someone else, I can gain a string on them. So I can go ahead and give myself a string on Viv.
Sure. Absolutely. Okay. As you now have joined the fight with Viv against Harlequin, you can notice that while Harlequin is giving her all to defend against all of Guardian Sphinx's attacks, she is slowly backing her way back towards the curtain and towards the rest of the reunion in the gymnasium auditorium area.
Yeah. August is just kind of chasing after. Hey, where do you think you're going?
Mm-hmm. Where am I going? It would seem only where the one of you brave enough to fight a girl is directing me.
Oh dear. I will go ahead and try to swivel around and push her away from the curtain, because that seems to be their goal.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I will say that is probably also going to count as defy disaster. You're not really certain what it is that they're trying to bring about, but it's not good.
Okay. Ooh. I will also roll with grace. Using some of my ex-cheerleading moves to get behind her and kick her away.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
That's a 9, but I think I'm gonna use one of those re-rolls. I think I can roll higher.
Okay.
Get it.
Down to 2.
And I went down 1. It's an 8.
Oh no.
Ooh, out of 9. Okay.
Still a partial success.
Still a partial success. However, I will say that on a 9, you are able to kind of maintain her attention in fighting and are able to pull her away from a curtain. However, amidst battle, you can see that she is very much keeping up, and her moves are starting to keep her breaking a sweat, and she says, "It's been so long since I've danced with someone so enticing as you. And through flirting, we'll gain a string on Sphinx."
Oh.
Okay.
Oh yeah, we can get strings on the NPCs as well.
You can flirt with your enemies. That's like the whole point of this game.
Absolutely.
Forgot about that.
Yeah, that is indeed the thirst in Thirsty Sword Lesbians.
That's right.
Indeed. However, as everyone is focused on their fighting and you are beginning to gain the upper hand, from just beyond the curtain, you can hear this loud noise as a menacing streaks of black and white light shoot out from underneath the base of the curtain, and you can feel like a gust of wind blow from beyond it. The two villains kind of give each other a wink and said, "Works like a charm," as they kind of, while everyone is distracted by whatever's going on behind the curtain, they will kind of acrobatically jump out of battle and say, like, "It has been fun meeting you all, but I'm afraid it's ta-ta for now," and will duck out behind the curtain.
Well, I suppose we should probably figure out what's behind the curtain then.
Yeah.
You can hear a great commotion coming from the other side where the rest of the congregation is.
No one just flirts with me like that and then leaves. I'm heading towards them.
Yeah.
Same. I'm
No,
running.
August is full on. Just get back here.
Zephyr's following.
Okay. All of you run to the other side of the curtain, just in time to see the villains jumping in through the gateway to monochromia that has opened up in the central floor of the gymnasium, as like onlookers kind of frantically run about and confusedly stare in horror at this rift between worlds that has opened in their old school.
August will kind of look and say, "So, back to monochromia. Perfect. Won't have it. I won't have any concern for collateral damage there."
Zephyr will kind of like put a hand on Estelle's shoulder and be like, "This is something that I've been waiting for, but are you okay with this?"
See, like her carrying dagger, kind of takes her left hand and clutches at, like an old wound. Well, a literal old wound. But just kind of staring. And if you're paying attention, you can see like her hand gripping her right hand gripping her rapier very tightly.
Viv will put her hand on her shoulder and say, "Of course she is. Come on, Estelle." And go with you.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Quick question before we head in. You said there's commotion and stuff. Is there like any danger of people being sucked in?
Oh, absolutely. A few people like already have been. Sorry, I didn't make that clear.
Yeah. Should we maybe try to rescue the bystanders first?
Yeah. Let's
I've
do
never
something
really
about
been
that.
good at that part, so
Frankly, everyone's either getting sucked in or they won't. And if we're going to be inside anyway, then we can just send them back, right?
yeah. Hey, everyone, run!
I think enough enough people have like seen that whatever's going on here is bad news, and I think the Guardian and Sphinx shouting for them to run is enough for people to kind of clear out before everyone can get sucked into the gate.
Okay.
And then everyone is going to go in toward Monochromia.
Yeah.
And I think that is a good place to call our 10-minute break.
Sweet.
Sounds great.
Sounds good to me. It's
Alright.
a lot of fun so far listening to you guys.
Thank you.
So we'll take a tenor. We'll be back at around 5:50 Mountain Time, and hopefully you guys can dig your wallets out. All right. All right, we are back. Let's see what's happening in that portal.
Okay. So, as all of you pass through the gateway into Monochromia, it is much different than how any of you remember. The Monochromia where you once fought the Black Queen comprised mostly of this beautiful, elegant, like classical architectural palace of great marble pillars and onyx facades, and everything was this very menacing but very ornate construction. And instead, what you find on the other side in Monochromia is a narrow and terrifying, almost like brutalist construct that seems to reach on into the sky eternally.
Wow.
And you can also see that none of you had ever entered Monochromia without your Guardian transformation, and you had never seen a normal human enter. Kind of scattered around you where the gateway has dropped you, there are your former classmates and teachers, like frozen in horror, turned to stone. Their faces just in fear and confusion.
These are the ones who got sucked in.
Yes.
No. He kind of looks and says, how? We reinstated Luxia, and Monochromia should be the Rainbow Kingdom now. What's happened here?
Has anybody heard from Lucia since we put her back on the throne?
I do not believe any of you have.
Maybe we should have kept in touch a little better.
Oopsies.
It's like,
Well,
looks at-
I mean, there were other problems, I think, amidst the group, but maybe those are things that we need to talk about later.
Yeah. Let's go kick some butt, you guys.
right.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
I'll say August will kind of, in an attempt for crowd control, we'll look to the others and says, don't worry, we will have this handled. All of you just stay together and stay safe, and yell if you see something, and yell really loud, and maybe throw up some flares or something, make a sign if you see something really bad coming towards you.
Well, that sounds good. Let's check out whatever the hell that thing is.
Mm-hmm. You are entering this kind of ominous construct.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The entering the large room where you would expect to have found the great throne room where you previously reinstated Lucia and defeated the Black Queen. The general layout of things is about right, but where there were statues, there are now only these imposing obelisks. And where there was once a great fountain at the center of the hall, it has now completely dried up. And at the far, far end of the room, at the top of a incomprehensibly tall flight of stairs, there sits a person on the throne. A person who does not appear to be of any discernible gender. A person who is not particularly attractive, but not particularly ugly. A person who is not thin, nor a person who is heavy, nor tall, nor short, with hair and skin of absolutely no discernible color. They stand up from the throne and give all of you a gesture somewhere between a bow and a curtsy. Hello, welcome.
Ooh. Rose, we got a donation. String.
We did give a string. Who to give a string to? I will say Estelle, Snow Leopard. You can see his attention is particularly fixed upon you. You have a string on this entity, whoever she is.
Got it. I have added a string and written in entity.
Yeah. I wrote in the entity.
Okay,
Capital
okay.
T.
Yeah.
Forgive me, I forget myself. You may simply know me as the new ruler of Monochromia.
I'm gonna keep the entity. That name's too long.
Where's Lucia?
Ah, yes, the Rainbow Queen. It's honestly a dreadful sight, you know. She tried her best to restore this world to its former glory, but disconnected from all of Earth, it seems that no color found its way back to Monochromia.
Where you didn't answer her question. Where is she?
Sorry, pardon the way I speak. Your queen, Lucia, is gone.
What did you do to her?
I have done nothing to her. I have only assumed my place at the throne in her stead.
Are you the one? He says, I assume you're the one who sent those, sent those two, sent those two squares after us.
It gives just like a bit of a chuckle. Oh, did you like them? My finest new creations.
Well, then it's like,
Though, forgive me, hardly anything to the originals.
he looks and says, if those are your best, then you're a worse inventor than Elon Musk.
Jeez.
Damn right.
So, if you didn't do anything to Lucia, but you sent those copycats after us, what the hell's your goal? Did you get somebody else to dispose of Lucia?
I think if you want to get any answer from this new ruler beyond what Zir has already given you,
Yeah.
you are going to have to figure them out.
Any moves, rules we can do for that?
Figure out a person is a
Figure
move.
you out.
That's a move, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, where is
It's the one that I
figure
did
out?
on Tuxedo earlier.
Right.
Mhm.
Right. let's see. So we ask the questions after we roll. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay.
I believe you specifically, Panther, are the one trying to figure out that information at the moment.
Makes sense. Then let me roll.
So you can roll plus wit.
Let's see. That's my wit is 0. So I got a total of 7 on that roll.
Okay. You may ask 2 questions. However, Faye will ask 1 in response.
Love it. Okay. Then I will. The first question. What do you hope to gain from this? From being on the throne? From sending these copycats after us? From getting rid of Lucia?
I suppose on one hand, you could say that my goal is the same as my predecessor, the grand equality throughout all worlds. However, my tactics are a bit more absolute than the queen before me. She simply wanted to make everything in the world black and white, devoid of color. But you know, the truth of things is, even if you remove color, black and white are still categories to divide. I am here to remove all.
And then I will ask for my second question. Let's see. You want to get rid of everything, then how I'm trying to think of the best way to word this. Then what do you feel? Sorry, I would think I'm going to phrase it a slightly different way.
Yeah.
Basically, I just want to ask her or ask them. If you're trying to get rid of everything, color and all, what happened to Lucia?
I tell the truth. The throne was simply unfit for her. But fear not. I have not brought any harm upon your old pet cat. And with your questions asked, A will get a question on you. I know how you all see me. I know you don't want monochromia returned. I know that you would rather have seen the queen you left here in my stead. But don't you think that's closed-minded? For the GM question, what would it take for you to see my side of things?
Is that to all of us or just to
Can be for all of you, but particularly Panther.
Oh, it's a tough question. There are certain people that I care about. The people here are amongst them, and so is Lucia. I want to make sure that they, above everything else, are safe.
You want them to be safe. And what could be more safe than equality?
It says, but are they? August will says, but are they happy? I've seen what your power can do to my friends. It says like, and it has brought so much pain.
Happy? A strange look passes over its face. What is happiness but the absence of sadness? What is sadness but the absence of happiness? Anger but the absence of fairness, fairness but the absence of fury. You ask if they are happy. I tell you, they feel no pain. They feel no sorrow. Isn't that what you all want?
No. Your sick and twisted idea of equality is not that. What we want is to be equal in our own different ways, for you to see us as we are and to respect who we are. You want to make everyone the same. That just makes everyone dull and lifeless. What makes real equality great is for each other to burn in the power and the fury of each other as what we are.
To respect one another for our differences.
Estelle visibly flinches at the word lifeless.
How visibly?
Are you asking whether or not Z can hear it?
Yes.
Or can see it? Let's say visibly. Visible enough.
I think yeah. Why are you shaken so visibly at the word lifeless?
Because primarily the conversation seems to be regarding the concept of life, spirit, like humanity, for lack of a better term, being taken, being a force, specifically the same force that took from Estelle.
Sure.
At least in more so, it is the first directly negative descriptor that has been applied to something so close to home.
I see.
Estelle views itself as lifeless.
And forgive me, it was another Guardian that used that word, correct?
Yes, it was.
Okay. I think that seeing that kind of the words of your comrades have affected you so strongly, and noticing that slight crack starting to form, the new ruler will gain a string on Estelle, which it will immediately spend to influence Estelle by saying, "Do you hear the way they talk about us? Lifeless, they call us, devoid of humanity. Snow leopard, Estelle. Can you really say that who you are surrounded by now are friends? Can you even say you belong with them? Air reaches a hand out toward you. Wouldn't you rather be with me? And now in spending a string, I, as GM, will... Normally this would be for XP, since we are towards the end of the game, and for the sake of acceleration. I will allow you, Winter, to level up in your playbook if you accept.
If I take.
This is our kingdom, is it not? I built it all in your image.
Temptation.
I think for the purpose of feeling like it belongs, for the purpose of feeling like its presence hasn't been of any benefit, it will take their hand.
No.
Okay. As you do so, whatever orange remained of your outfit has been bleached snow white. Welcome home, Vilnian leopard.
Viv, what's she doing?
He will. August will immediately charge in and just say, "You get away from her!" It's like, and he will look and he will say, "I'm putting a stop to." It's like, it's just like, Estelle, you're our friend. You belong with us. You are not what he says you or like what they are trying to say you are. And I'm gonna prove, I'm gonna prove it, because like you rescued me last time, I'm gonna rescue you this time. And he is going to take out his like transformation device, his his morpher, if you will, and will press a button, holding it up as it shines, as it emits a yellow light. A strike of thunder, of thunder can be heard before, as like some thunder clouds form above him. I'm going to be pulling up one of my moves called the Loyal Steed.
Okay.
The steed will come up, and it is, but the steed is not really the kind of steed you may expect, as coming down from the thunder clouds is a giant robotic yellow tiger. And he goes, "Tiger Sword!"
All right. What will you do, having summoned your steed tiger?
Yeah, he will kind of just like hop up, go inside of the Tiger Sword, like now fully like in, at the controls, and he is going to I will say, so just for this, I was asked to give 2 strengths and 2 weaknesses to the steed. The strengths is dangerous attack as well as fast and agile. Weaknesses is collateral damage, and they're also vulnerable to fire.
Okay.
So he will full on just like essentially just try to just like knock, just try to kind of knock the new, the entity away.
Okay. So you are just going to fully fight the
yes.
ruler.
This is full on. Like I'm pulling out my big ultimate attack, and I'm just gonna try and take this ruler to take down the ruler as fast as possible.
Okay, you can absolutely roll daring.
All right. We still have 2 more than rerolls, right?
We do. We
Yes.
still have 2 rerolls.
Question: in theory, if I were to roll, do I still have a reroll, or do I?
No,
or
absolutely you do.
later
You're
on?
still a player. Yeah, absolutely.
Use those rules.
Okay.
Steal rerolls from the team, please.
Use them against us.
I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna use one of those rerolls because I think I can do better.
Okay.
No, I cannot do better. It was a 7 before. Now it is a 5.
Ooh.
Hit
Okay.
me with it.
The donation does say advantage, so I will count the 7 for the record.
Okay.
Oh.
So on a 7 on fight, you are able to get 2 of the listed effects on the ruler. However, D will have 1 on you.
Okay. All right. So first, let's go ahead and remember what tab I have the book in. Here it is. Okay. So where's the picture of them fighting? Okay. So
Let's see. Sorry. Go on.
no, I got it. So first, the obvious is inflict a condition upon them.
Sure.
Now, you can tell me if this counts, but they grabbed leopard by the hand.
Yes.
Would they still upon attacking, they'd still be joined at the hand, right?
Sure, I can allow that.
What if can I use take an object from them and use it so I can almost kind of take her like separate them and get her behind the Zord?
Let me ask you a follow-up question, and that will determine if you're allowed to do this.
Yeah.
Are you comfortable referring to Estelle as an object?
Ooh.
I'm glad
That's a
that you
good
took
question.
that exactly where I was about to.
Yeah.
Are you sure about that?
Ooh.
Dang, no, I'm sorry. This is a Danganronpa 2 kind of situation. No, I can't acknowledge that you're. I have to acknowledge you're a human being, even if it means bad things.
Do you have to?
Genuine statement. Do you have to? You could. You could prevent something here. But that is the cost it comes at.
It's true.
You are always free to say no.
Okay. Am I allowed to choose something else?
Yeah. If that's not going to be followed through on, you can absolutely go for something else.
Okay. Then if that's the case, I will. I'll just create an opportunity for an ally.
Right. Okay. I think that your brash display of trying to interrupt something important going on has caused B to become angry.
Mm-hmm.
Vilnian Leopard,
Yes.
do you let that happen?
Well, I have a couple things to say at least. So what is the intended outcome of this? What is
He
being done?
from August's point of view, you are being corrupted, and the villain is taking advantage of you is taking advantage and trying to bring you over to their side and like basically like get you to kind of submit to the darkness in a Kingdom Hearts sort of way. And this is kind of sort of like, no, get away from her, and is this full on like trying to essentially like take out the entity separate and bring and take out the entity and kind of bring you to your or get them away from you so you can, in August's mind, come to your senses.
Okay. So if what you're saying is you're going to basically just crash into the entity, like
pretty much just like big giant robot tiger just coming in and just trying to.
Okay. Well, you are right about collateral damage then, I guess.
Yes.
So I'm not just going to let it happen, at least. Because I think that I'm trying to think of what the best action related to this would be. I guess cutting words are a fight, right?
Yes.
But is this a reaction because it hasn't happened yet, or how does this?
You got 3 strings on me, so you can use those.
You can spend a string.
True. Let me look at what I can actually do with that.
You can offer him an EXP to do something, find out what it will take to get them to do what you want, add 1 to any roll against them, or subtract 1 from any roll they make.
Okay. Can I consider that what I'm saying right now is effectively spend a string to minus 1 roll?
Sure.
That'll kick it down from a partial failure. So.
Yep.
Yeah, believe me, I'm aware. Because I think the particular words that Estelle is going to use here is, now you're okay treating me like a person? This is the line you won't cross? Before, when I said I didn't want to be infantilized and you continued to patronize me, before, back when everyone was just shifting gazes and pretending everything was fine and normal, pretending like this wasn't happening to me the entire time, when one person has checked in on me in the last 10 years, now you're trying to pretend like you care about my agency?
You hear just like from the voice of like the robot, like kind of like a projected voice. It says, I do.
I think by all means finish what you're about to say, but I think that was such a targeted emotional blow that August, you are going to have to stagger.
Ooh.
When you suffer a staggering physical or emotional blow, you can choose from list of options marked under stagger. You currently have 0 conditions, so
I have 1 condition. I'm guilty.
Okay, true. You have 1 condition, but that still puts you in the 0 to 3 range. So you will pick 1.
Okay, so you lash out someone who regards matter, provoke them to do something foolish or harmful, hesitate and stumble, and the opponent gains opportunity, or you grin and bear it. Mark traditions. You know what? I'm going to take the second one. So upon seeing that, like, you'll see kind of the robot sort of just kind of, again, like what would be like a big giant claw coming down, just whacking him away, and sending him away. Like the claw almost kind of just stops. He just looks as. Especially, I think the one that hits the most is the whole of like, only one of you has come to see me in 10 years. And August is just, I just, after what you did for me, you took that blow and you took that blow from the Queen and what it did to you. I don't understand. I didn't. None of this was out of like. It's because I see you as a person. I felt so guilty. I felt like it was my fault you got hurt because you got hurt protecting me. All of that was it's like, and I was so ashamed and so guilty that I couldn't bring myself to face you. And it's why I've trained so hard so I could do this, so I could face you again. I could stop it from getting worse, and I could help heal you. Help bring you to your true self.
And without what they said, I want you to know, Estelle, you have the most life than any of us have. It's not a matter of what happened to you. You have always been the heart of our group. You always will be, at least in my eyes. I will support you regardless of whatever you choose to. But I want you to know that your color never left. It might have dulled or it might have shrank, but you still glowed in my eyes. And I will use shiny and new when you give or receive emotional support in an intimate moment with someone. You each mark XP and clear condition. I don't know if you have any conditions, but Estelle, that's for you.
I don't, but that's meaningful.
I will say that it may have been perhaps a bit accurate, and Estelle, feel free to tell me if this is right or wrong, but when taking the hand of the entity, it would make sense for you to be doing so out of a sense of any number of conditions: insecurity, hopelessness, guilt, what have you.
Oh, yes.
I think that what I can offer you then, since that was not marked down mechanically, is that if you so choose, then whatever sort of had been going through your mind that made you accept that bargain has kind of cleared. Like your mind has kind of been reminded of your own humanity.
I think I agree with that. Because, if I may interject, if Estelle may interject.
Sure.
None of this was because I felt like you failed me. It was that I failed you. I deserved to take that blow because I failed to plan. I failed to protect all of you. This was the only way that I could make sure everyone was safe. And, well, at that point, what good is a leader who can't lead?
But you didn't fail. You saved my life. You, Estelle.
Better.
Estelle, you're my hero. And I just wanted to return the favor.
I don't know what attempting to turn back would look like, but I think at this point it would try to do that. Turning back towards, like you said, the thing that had been the initial big reason. The fear that the party no longer trusted me. The fear that the insecurity at failing at the one thing I was supposed to do. the hopelessness, perhaps,
Mm-hmm.
at feeling like whoever it was that everyone was friends with has been taken and I'm what's left. Those feelings in particular. I guess guilt is in there too. Basically, all of them. Some amount of all of them are in there.
Yeah.
Sure. The entity will give Leopard a curious look. Are you refusing me?
Yes. Because you didn't offer me anything. In fact, you pretty explicitly offered me nothing, right? No pain, no joy, no sorrow, no anything. A meaningless gift for a meaningless decision.
You call it meaningless? And Key will sort of like thrust her hand outward and kind of push you back down towards the others.
Tiger Zord will attempt to catch you in its paw.
Mm-hmm. I am the ruler of Monochromia. I, who follow the Black Queen, who dethroned Lucia. I will bring about the new world, total equality.
Hey, I thought you didn't do anything to Lucia.
I am the new colorless ruler of Monochromia. Who are you before me?
We're the Gardenians.
Yeah.
There it is.
Yep.
All right.
I
think
you'll ever be.
I think now then is a good time for all of you then to get into formation for your final epic finishing moves. So then I will ask all of you, and you can choose to do so by individual contribution or as a group, but I want you to decide, how do you finally bring Monochromia to an end?
Ooh. I have a out there idea, and I think I'm gonna run it by Estelle first, because it involves her. What if bringing back, being able to bring back color and like bringing in, like, what if Estelle became the ruler? That's just a suggestion.
A possible deviation on that would even be it feels like, I think you said that Estelle is colorless at the moment. What if the rest of us gave Estelle either encouraging words or power or something to bring back Estelle's color for Estelle to finish the ruler off?
I like that.
I like that one.
Off of that, I was considering something along the lines of how color clearly doesn't completely die. It can get subdued or maybe like snuffed out, perhaps.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What if we fill this world with so much color that it can't die? Similar to restore, like, the words of support and such, I'm imagining those reignited the, or at least started to.
Mm-hmm.
And I think our own individual, creative finishers, our own individuality is what Monochromia was trying to get rid of in the first place, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
I suppose us all doing our own thing separately together, I feel like would be a fitting end.
All right.
What do you all think?
I like that idea.
Okay. I will say, you absolutely can go through that. If you are comfortable with it, Estelle, I can still say, even though you all are doing your moves separately, the bright warmth and beauty and color of community will return to you if you allow it.
What do you mean by that?
You can become Guardian Cheetah again in this moment. Should you choose. I'm merely offering that as GM.
I think for a moment, yes.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
All right, then. Each of you can describe your final finishing move against the entity.
All right. Well, I had one in mind, so I guess I'll go first. I'll discuss like after that. I'll just kind of hold out my thing, and it's like, all right, time for final blow. And it's like storm roar as the tiger zord will allow like a thunderous a thunderous howl into the distance as kind of little almost like sound waves of yellow flow across the entire flow across the entity, the ruler. The ground begins to shake and rumble as with each kind of of the thunder, you see parts of the world, parts of the grayness sort of almost fall apart with little glowing bits of yellow in its different shades flowing below them, with finally collecting together and just firing off a bolt of lightning from its mouth straight at the entity.
All right. Sphinx, Panther, anything.
Yeah. I will.
I've got an idea, but I want you to go first.
Oh, okay.
Classic.
I think that Zephyra starts by her sword turns back into a guitar. She starts strumming out a song. She kind of turns to the three of you, says, let's see, Storm Tiger, you were someone I could confide in when I needed it the most. Snow Leopard, I've felt guilty that I never checked in on you over these past 10 years, and it's been eating me up, but I'm glad to be here with you now. And turns to Sphinx and says, Sphinx, that kiss that we shared meant more to me than you probably realized. And I was scared. And that's why I disappeared. And as Zephyr finishes playing music along with these words the whole time, you see flames shoot out from Zephyr's feet, riding down the floor, painting it with reds and blacks, and
Mhm.
shooting up the ruler, painting part of the ruler in reds and blacks, as well as the throne behind. That'll be my move.
Okay.
At Zephyr's remark, she'll look back at her and go, I'm sorry too. I didn't know who I was back then, but I do know who I am now, and I have always been smitten with you. I am smitten with you, and I love you. And she will also kind of turn to the rest of the group. If we're going to fill this world with color, we might as well use a rainbow. And she is going to extend her arms and make up into the sky using August's thunderclouds and make it rain.
So
Beautiful.
cool.
Beautiful. All right. Cheetah, bring us home.
All right, I think Estelle is going to turn back to the group for another moment, and you can see the lining of the jacket is glowing again. The like shattered pattern over the front of that hood, over the front of the jacket, is like glowing like a hot orange, and it says, I thought that I had lost the one thing that made me important. The only reason that I had to continue to know and be friends with and love all of you. And that is what has hurt the most over these last 10 years. But even if I can never be the same person I was 10 years ago, well, that's true for all of us, isn't it? I mean, and I still have useless rendering right now. That's going to be enough. And we'll kind of draw her rapier again, and extending from the tip is kind of maybe a like a long blade of energy, a long like golden blade of energy that she will like, I guess, run forward in a blaze of like leaving illusory like blazing footsteps on the ground and attempt to kind of, well, stab.
All right.
I guess.
Get him.
I think that as soon as this overwhelming force of thunder and fire and rain, this beautiful blinding rainbow, these oranges and yellows, blacks, reds, turquoise, everything colliding on the entity pierces directly through his chest. And all of the world around you erupts in this blinding technicolor light of every single color of a rainbow, even colors that have yet to be seen, explode outwards. And the only parting word that the entity leaves you all with is, was I so wrong to exist as me? When the light finally clears, the kind of harsh, brutalist environment has reverted back to the classic castle you are familiar with. And the wonderful ornate statues have returned. The fountain in the center is overflowing with water that glistens in the light coming from just every direction. And from above where the throne is sat, you can hear a familiar voice. Oh, finally done with that dreadful thing. As from above, the cat you have all known who made you guardians in the first place, Lucia, kind of descends downward in a glowing halo of light. On Earth, Lucia appears as merely an unremarkable tabby cat, but as she comes down now, she has big, majestic wings coming out from her back, and her coat glistens with this bright Technicolor rainbow.
I'll say, like Tiger Zord immediately kind of almost dissipates as like, Storm Tiger just like immediately just kind of gets out, and it's just, it's just full on like, it's just like, it's you, Lucia, and it immediately is just like running to kind of just hug her.
She kind of accepts it gracefully, but has a bit of a questioning face. Forgive me, have we met?
He's like, he kind of like puts it down and says, yeah, you knew me as April, Guardian Tiger. I got some, well, let's just say I'm a bit more mean now. I've been taking some testosterone and it changed my cat ears, and
I love what it's done to your uniform.
Yeah, I mean, you knew I always hated those skirts you made us wear, so.
It's glad to see you finally being yourself.
Yeah. Hey, speaking of which, you should also see, I've got my own, I've got someone kind of, similar to you who's got my powers. You ever meet a guy who's got you ever meet like a floating head?
A floating head?
Yeah. A floating blue head that's just that kind of speaks in echoey voice.
That took me a minute.
Afraid I don't know what you're referring to.
Well, how about his how about his fun little robot sidekick?
Lucia is just going to give a bizarre look to the rest of you. Is he always like this now?
He's like, I'll have to introduce the two. I'll have to introduce you. You guys should, yeah. It's just like, you know what, you guys should come down to my base sometime.
Forgive me, it is nice to see you cheerful. However, I do remember you as quieter. Not that it's a bad change.
Well, you should. I mean, from what I remember, you would always tell me to quiet down after I was, kicking the walls when we were doing our kung fu movie marathons.
Of course. How can I forget? Lucia will turn her attention to Viv and Zephra. You two, so nice to see. And will give a particular pointed stare to how close the two seem to be.
I think Zephyr at this point has kind of like grabbed Viv's hand and intertwined her fingers.
Mm-hmm.
Aw.
Oh, they grow up so fast.
We were worried about you. Although I guess this kind of catastrophe has brought us all together.
Oh, 10 years and you've never lost your wit, Panther.
Always a sucker for a good cat pun.
Still just as dreadful as always.
Dan says we're going to get negative donations for that.
Oh my god.
There you go. Have some money back.
Excellent.
Oh. Damn.
Too late.
Do we
Yes.
the people out there that were, I mean, it looked like they were turned to stone or had their color removed or something. Is there anything that you can do about it?
Yes, yes. My attendants have already, now that the Rainbow Kingdom has been reestablished, are already out returning all of your former classmates back to your world. Their faculties should restore themselves soon. And fear not, they will have no memory of their terrible encounter tonight. However, that is something I do need to speak to all of you about. Though it pains me to say, it would appear that I misjudged our last encounter and my own abilities in rebuilding the kingdom. The truth is, I don't think that our worlds can, or mine at least, can exist being disconnected. I don't know if I can ask this of you, but will the Guardians return and remain as protectors of the two worlds? The gate needs to remain open, but there could be more dangers in the future.
Like August says, of course. Don't worry. I've got it's like I've got through my time doing MMA fighting, I have found. Don't worry. There's four more fighters of attitude that'll be willing to protect at a moment's notice.
Zephyr kind of like still holding Viv by the hand, like looks to Viv. There's excitement in Zephyr's eyes, and she's like, is that what you want?
Well, there are some very important people that need me back home. It would be such a disappointment to them. Of course, it's what I want.
Like smack you in the arm, like, don't mess with me like that.
If I'm gonna be with you, you should expect it by now.
It's one of the things that I love about you. Look to Estelle, like, are you joining us?
Well, I may not, like I said before, I suppose. I'm never going to be Guardian Cheetah again. That doesn't mean I'm no longer a Guardian, though. I think even if I take, handle things solo sometimes, it's nice to know that I have people who have my back, To get to the point, yes, I'm staying.
Can I ask, what does Estelle in its guardian form, right, or guardian form look like right now?
Very good question.
I think similar to, not quite as bright as, but very similar to the, I guess, form when the lance was made. the kind of glow in the middle of her chest is still like, it's warm. It's not searing anymore. It's just a comforting warmth. Let's say a familiarity with a person who is not the same, but it's the spark of like warmth and comfort and such, I guess.
I love that.
I'm different, my powers are different, but I'm still me, and I'm still going to fight alongside you all if you'll have me.
Of course.
That's all we can ask.
Again,
Lucia,
you talk about being different. I no, it's like, some might argue I've changed even more than you have over the past 10 years.
Yeah, I can't disagree with you on that one.
Lucia bows her head toward you, Estelle, and says, "No matter how bright or dim your colors may shine, you will always find home here."
Thank you.
The
And
band is back together.
Yeah.
however, one last thing before Lucia dismisses you. While I would love to join you back on Earth, I'm afraid my responsibilities as Queen of Rainbow Kingdom keeps me firmly seated in this throne. But should I ever need you again, I will leave each of you a messenger. And with that, she will give a signal behind her, and 4 other similarly colored cats will appear from behind the throne. August, into your lap jumps a very large, fluffy Maine Coon, striped in blue, pink, and white.
Amazing.
Hey, boss, how's it going?
Glorious.
Ah,
Oh. Ay.
Viv and Zephra, accompanying you will be 2 short hairs, one striped in purple and orange, the other in pink, purple, and blue. Finding ourselves in a new family after all, are we, brother? Why, yes, it would seem that way. And Estelle, very shyly approaching your feet, is a small but resolutely built little kitten, painted yellow, white, purple, and black. Hello.
Hey there. Yeah, I'm gonna like reach out a hand and, or I guess reach out both hands and offer it a place to hop up if it so wishes.
It will. Lucia gives one final bow to all of you. Farewell, guardians, and thank you. And unless anyone has any final remarks, that will be the end of our session.
Everyone jumps in the air, clicks the heels, and it pauses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And of course, this is a one-shot, but were we playing longer, everyone, of course, would be getting XP for Viv and Zephra confessing their feelings, for August's defiant blow against the entity as a blow against oppression, and many of you all's leaps into danger with daring and panache. Thank you all so much for joining me. This has been great.
Yeah. So
Thank you.
let's do another little lap around the people. Just remind people who you are and if you have anything you want to pitch out there. And we'll start with Rosie again.
Yes, sure. My name is Rosemary. You can find my music and weird YouTube videos and my podcast with Joanna that we do about Pokemon movies called Cinnamon on Rose Gold on Bandcamp and YouTube.
Nice.
Yeah, I guess I'll again jumping off from that. I am I'm Joanna. You can find me at Writing with Joan on Blue Sky is where I'm mainly active. It's where I also have links to a lot of my writing. You can also just check out I have a lot of my writing linked on my website, writingwithjoan.com. And again, big thing is do come back here tomorrow at noon around Mountain Time. Do come back tomorrow. I'll be showcasing my own tabletop role-playing game that I've been working on with Rosemary. I'll also have another one of the creators in the game as well. But yeah, so card heroes. If you like card battlers, if you like Yu-Gi-Oh, Bakugan, or if you played a trading card game like Magic or Pokemon, this is one that all conflicts are resolved by card games, and it's a lot of fun. We've been working on it for a long time. And I'm excited to finally show it off to the to show it off to the world. So definitely tune in tomorrow. Check that out, and maybe throw some donations our way as well.
Yeah,
I love how many trials we've had on this thing over the years. Let's go with Misha next.
Hi, I'm Misha. It's been lovely to play with all of you guys. Unfortunately, I have no socials, so I guess you're just going to have to wait until next year to catch me.
Yeah.
We'll be glad to have you back. Todd.
Hi, I'm Todd. You can find me online everywhere as DM Todd Bloom. I'm a professional game master, dmtoddbloom.com. You can find all my links and social stuff there. And it has been a blast playing Thirsty Sword Lesbians with everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And last but definitely not least, Winter.
Well, again, I'm Winter. I don't really have anything particular to pitch or to get any eyes on, but I thank you all here for playing and everyone else who was, watching along and donating. But yeah, it's been a blast. I'll be here next year.
One more shout out. I just also want to shout out Rosie for letting me borrow this oversized leather jacket for my costume.
Yeah.
This
You're
thing
welcome.
is
Very nice.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Catch us next in about an hour. We will have Blades in the Dark with Josh from the Heroes Die podcast. So see you then.
all right. Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.